following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the pirate nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello and welcome in to Pirate Radio Live here on a Friday.
Oh my goodness.
Last minute adjustments right before the show. But we are ready to roll here on a Friday. Clip Brock with you.
Are you out of breath yet?
Yeah, a little bit. I did
just a little bit.
A little bit. Did a little suicide down the hallway here at Pirate Radio. A little bit. Did sprints. Little gassers.
We have senioritis today.
Friday gassers. All right, we are coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM, 104.1 FM, 1250, 930. We are live online, pr927fm.com. We are on. Are we on Facebook Live?
You darn tootin'.
Are we on YouTube?
You darn tootin'.
Well, we are doing it big on a Friday here. And Tony Dunn is here just in the nick of time as well. Fresh off of his appearance last night at PNC Arena.
Correct.
To see the Hurricanes lose in overtime.
Boo that.
Oh. Boo that, but
boo that. It was a good game.
Yeah, we'll talk about Tony's experience last night. We will also talk to Mullis. We had planned on recapping the ECU Tulane game at 4 o'clock. The first pitch got moved back a little bit. So we will talk a little bit about that. I did not do that one on purpose. And what's going on in Major League Baseball. Shirley Rhodes has a ton of minor league baseball updates. Great night last night for former Pirates, and we will talk about that. What are you looking at?
She has a ton and not a little bit?
No, she's got a lot of updates regarding former Pirates and their exploits in the minor leagues last night. So got that on the way. Got Mark Greenhalgh at 4:30 to talk some golf. We'll get an HV3 update. And Morgan Ahlers joins us coming up at 5 o'clock. All that on the way on a Friday. All right, why was I scrambling right before the show to get ready for Free Beer Friday?
Sound like Jim Roman there while the paper shuffling.
Scrambling.
Let's go to the emails.
Jesus.
Friday.
I'm like some eggs in here.
There might be some free beer.
Scrambled.
Clones.
A 12-pack of Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade is on the line today. Bud Light T-shirt. Tony, can you hold up that shirt? We got some koozies. Also, a Pirate Vibes Only T-shirt, which Shirley is rocking today. And a large pizza from Domino's. At the end of the month, we'll be giving away this bad boy.
This puppy.
This is a cooler. It looks like
it could be an old radio.
You can put a bomb in it. You can pretty much put anything in it. I would use it as a briefcase.
I'm going to have my kids use this as a lunchbox.
The coolest kid in school with the biggest lunch in school. So, yeah, courtesy of Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade. We'll be giving this away at the end of the month. Today, you can win some free Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade Brewhas along with more in our prize pack.
So, clones, get off your and get on the horn.
1-800-636-8386.
But not right now.
Or 317-1250. Call that one coming up later on in the show. All right, Tony, start thinking in that big old brain of yours. Today, was thinking of an NFL topic we could touch on, and that would be teams that made the playoffs last year. I want you to tell me what teams will not return this year, and also what teams that didn't make it last year will make it this year.
Okay.
So we'll go over that at some point.
Let me see who made the playoffs again.
Yeah, we'll pull it up. We'll look at the teams, and we will touch on. Got a beautiful bracket right there, Tony.
That is nice.
And we'll talk about that at some point during the show, because I don't think it's been that big of an NFL news week.
Which is strange.
Has anything happened in Panthers land?
No, they're starting to sign the rookies. We're starting to get to know some of the players. One of the big things that Sam Darnold did is they and they do this a lot at the Hurricanes game, but between like when they're filling time, they get them to do these little activities like Have I Ever? They played these games or something. Sam Darnold had to draw some things.
Oh.
And he drew the Panthers logo, and it looks like a slug panther.
So that's why the Panthers then put on their Twitter, draw the logo, and we'll choose the best one.
It's for Panthers Twitter, it's turned into like a meme.
Yeah.
They've got shirts. They've actually had a Photoshop of our helmets with that logo on it.
And people are like, if we don't roll this helmet out one time, I'm going to be so disappointed. So,
what did you call it, Tony? A slug panther?
Yeah, that's what one of my friends
Oh, yeah, because it's got like a tail, kind of a dragon behind the face.
He was trying to get the Panthers kind of shape on that crest, but it didn't work.
And I saw where the Panthers now, like, people are putting it on helmets, like on uniforms. Like,
yeah, so it's fun.
Could be the new alternate logo.
I think one other thing they talked about is why they passed on Fields a little bit. They've been on the radio trying to defend that position.
What is the statement there?
Ultimately, that Sam Darnold, that they traded for him for a reason, and that J.C. Horn is a guy that's going to come in and start on day one. And you guys got to see, did you see the picture of him doing the footwork, the ladder drill, J.C.?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness gracious, this guy is superb. But so, I mean, they're out there doing the regular PR thing that they have to at this time, which is selling Sam Darnold because that's what they chose to do. And then also pumping up their new rookie prospect. But some people have been pointing around the league that you know, should have Carolina maybe taken a trade from Chicago. I think Chicago reached out for the number 8 pick, and because they were trying to get Fields if they weren't going to pick Fields. And the New Orleans Saints were also trying to move up into the top 10. Not that we would do business with them.
But you would have gotten a huge haul because they were picking so late.
And they were eyeballing a cornerback as well. So it's nice to hear other teams want the player that you got, and also some of the kind of rumors behind the war room. But there's been some suspicion whether or not the Panthers everybody was on board with that pick. A lot of people have been suggesting that a strong portion or contingent of the Panthers organization was looking for a tackle at this moment, and that their failure to address the offensive line until the third round again is a point of contention for this team. So we'll see how it works out, but that's basically the gist of the news and notes for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, Rashawn Slater was a guy that I was eyeing on at the 8th pick, especially when Penei Sewell went right before us. I was thinking it would be Rashawn Slater or maybe Justin Fields. Obviously, we didn't go either of those routes. We went with J.C. Horn. But, yeah, they discussed the other day that he will be a guy that will start for day one, and it's going to be a very young secondary for the Carolina Panthers with Jeremy Chin at safety. I mean, we kind of played him all around last year. I think now it's the time for him to be a full safety with Trey Boston gone. You bring in A.J. Bouye. And then also Dante Jackson is also a young lad as well.
Well, he's got to make it's time for him to make it or break it, because this is like the end of his rookie year, his rookie contract. He's in the 4th year of that deal.
Yep.
And the team has been high on him, but we'll see if he can put it all together, because prior to the Matt Rule staff, there were questions about how he got along and the maturity. We all saw is it all or nothing? Or all or I used to call it all in, but it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
I think. And then there's that one moment that they pulled out, and it was like he was getting a talking to by the old hats.
Oh.
And so the question was about maturity at some point and his coachability. And Ron didn't like those types of players. It didn't seem like, going back to like a Josh Norman type of, I would say attitude, but maybe bravado. But then when we get the new coaching staff, they're so high on him, and they're talking about how great he was doing. But again, he's battling these toe injuries. He cuts his pinky toenail wrong, and he's out every other game. So he was looking good, but health was an issue. So availability is the greatest ability in the NFL. So he's going to have to, this year, in the final year of his rookie deal, he's going to have to put it all together. He's going to have to play a full season, and he's going to have to be effective out there. And I think he can, because I think he could be a very good complement to a guy like J.C. Horn, rather than him being the number 1 corner. He's a guy that can be he's a ball hawk. He's got lots of speed.
He's very fast.
Yeah,
He was the
4.3.
fastest. He was the fastest in his draft.
Which is crazy because J.C. Horn is so much bigger and just as fast too. So interesting and fun. We'll see. It's going to be a whole new different Panthers team. We're going to have to learn everybody's names and numbers and all of this. And who is this Sam Darnold guy? Will be, the big news. And Clip, go ahead and write it down. Is that write it down right now? Is that if Sam Darnold doesn't work out and Justin Fields does?
It's a bust,
right? It's gonna be the same comparison as Trubisky and Mahomes.
Speaking of Darnold, you're talking about their reasoning to not draft Fields because they had Sam Darnold. That could have been lip service if all the quarterbacks went before the Panthers picked. But now maybe it's a little shot in the arm to Darnold because the Panthers did have an opportunity to take Fields or Mac Jones and kind of practice what they preach. They said, you're our guy. We're not going to take those guys.
I think that's an excellent point. And if you're going to, you need to boost his confidence.
Yeah, I think that is a booster.
He has been in an untenable situation, which is actually funny is Robert Saleh came out and talked about the Jets draft and how they drafted so many. I think they drafted like 4 offensive players and all 3 of their first round picks were offensive players or something like that. And he said that he believed that the previous way what happened with Sam Darnold informed them on this draft. And he said,
admitting that they made a mistake.
Yeah, and he said that not only was he in a tough, difficult situation, he was one that nobody could succeed in.
We will be calling out the Jets and Adam Gase in their front office for years to come.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like I have to come out with at least one hot take. I'm a fence rider, Tony, because I do like to look at things from every perspective.
Right. But you're also in radio.
Exactly, which is boring radio when you don't take a side. I'm going to say that Zach Wilson is going to be a bust, and Fields will have a better career than Wilson, at least the early part of his career, because of the situation he's in. Lance, I'm wondering... Let's do an over-under. What week does Trey Lance start? And I'll set it at like 7.5.
Ooh.
And I would go over. I think they're going to try to sit him for a while.
I say under.
Okay.
I'm going to go over.
I think Garoppolo continues to struggle and has difficulties with injuries, and then they just got to put in the young buck, and he's going to just run all over the place.
Wilson starting from day one, right?
Yes.
The Jets don't have anybody else, do they?
No. And I think you're right on the money in some ways. Look, is that Zach Wilson's, or I don't say it's super hot take, right? Is that everybody's fed us that Zach Wilson is kind of the can't miss guy.
And you were liking him, right?
Sure.
Before he kind of shot into the stratosphere and you knew he was going second overall.
Yeah. I mean, is that so if you're going to get, and I mean, he's a guy that, look, he looks like he can do it, right? He's got this crazy arm talent. He looks like he looks the part, acts the part, can throw off platform, all the things that the guys say are right. He's bigger than he looks, right? I mean, so he's got good NFL size.
I'm smaller than I look.
Me too. And the one thing is that I just was so stunned that he catapulted to a number 2 consensus without question so quickly.
Oh yeah, that it's locked in. Lawrence 1, Wilson 2, no questions asked. Just look at pick 3. That's when the draft starts.
So I think I think that's a fair it's not as hot as as you might think it is. And then we had some guys come on our podcast. We had a kind of Avengers Assemble podcast week where we brought together all the Panther YouTube creators, or like all the big ones. And there's a group of 4-man rush guys, and they have a team of 10 dudes that I don't know. They're pretty heavy into the draft and to the scouting. They mocked us getting Terrence Marshall Jr., which was crazy, in the second in one of our big mock drafts. But they said that Zach Wilson's going to be a bust. Like straight up.
Yeah, and again, it's kind of like draft grades. We're all just kind of grasping at straws
right now.
That might
not even be a hot take.
Maybe not. Yeah. All right, fine. My hot take is Zach Wilson's going to be the mayor of New York by the end of
Your hot take is Justin Fields is going to be the best quarterback of this class.
Well, I'm not ready to put him over
every
Trevor Lawrence yet.
Has a chance of being a bust.
That's the truth. I mean, everybody acts like...
You don't know.
Yeah, and that goes for Trevor Lawrence as well. And you know what? The one thing that makes these guys bust more than anything? Injury. Right? Yeah. I mean, look, is that everybody's told me that Trevor Lawrence is the best prospect they've scouted since Andrew Luck. Well, guess what? Andrew Luck had one of the shortest careers in the NFL. that of all these great quarterbacks.
Yeah, but he could still play if he wanted to. Maybe not to his ability.
Maybe.
I don't think he was like, I can no longer go out on the field type of thing.
Well, it was seeming like that at one point.
Yeah.
Would you consider him a bust?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really win much.
He didn't live up to his potential.
You're talking about
Andrew Luck.
This is the number one pick we're talking about.
You're very biased, though. You have
I have an anti-luck bias. I'm a bad luck guy.
It's because
rather than a good luck guy.
It's because he kind of spurned the Panthers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He decided to stay in school. 4-time Pro Bowler, led the league in passing touchdowns 1 year. Most of his accolades are college accolades, Tony.
I think you're right. I don't think he's a bust. But when and we're going to be talking about the Canes later.
But he was not.
When you're so good, and when the expectations are so high, it's really hard. If you don't just come out and be the greatest, you've already fallen short.
And one thing, maybe in your cap, Tony, if you say who had the better career, Andrew Luck or Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
You gotta say Cam, right?
Yeah,
he won an
MVP.
Yeah.
Made a Super Bowl appearance.
That's right. How far did Luck ever get to the conference championship? Did he ever make it there?
He has the most rushing touchdowns of a quarterback in the history of the National Football League.
Yeah. Or any person, I think. Is that true? No, too much.
What do you mean?
Like a running back as well?
I feel like he's like...
He has 70 rushing touchdowns. The next person behind him in the list has like 45. So no one's probably going to touch him.
When you said any person, I was thinking like
Cliff Rock.
Just like walking down the road, like even in backyard touchdowns.
What is who's the number one rushing touchdown person of all time, even of all positions? Running back. Is it?
He's definitely yards.
Most rushing TDs all the time is Emmitt Smith, I believe.
I bet you Cam's top 10.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Let's find out. Emmitt Smith, number one. LaDainian Tomlinson.
Not even close.
Marcus Allen. Let's see where Cam is. Yeah, you got to go 32nd all time.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. You got to figure if he plays.
Look, he's about to shoot up into the 20s.
Can he get 5 this year?
Yes. He's going to get 5 in week 1.
All right. He'll tie Clinton Portis for 25th if he gets 5. 25th all time. That's a pretty big number there, Tony Dunn.
Wow.
So,
it is.
And you've got some active guys. Adrian Peterson's never going to retire because he needs the money. He's got 118. Marshawn Lynch, he's not retired officially, is he?
Is he up there?
It seems
he goes and lays on his couch for like about a month or two and
done.
says, "Hey, I want to go."
Frank Gore's still playing, and
is
then yeah,
Lord, that guy will not quit.
I'm pretty sure he's still the running back for the New York Jets.
We might have seen our last Shady McCoy touchdown. I don't know if he gets the news.
I don't think
73 all time.
Wow.
So there you go. All right, Tony comes to trivia sometime. He just never plays. He just kind of works
he also
the room.
pops up whenever he wants to. He popped up this week. The past 2 or 3 times I've been there, Tony just kind of shows up and just walks in the door.
Chandler was in the excuse-making business yesterday, and he used you as one of his excuses. You distracted him, he said.
But it was like a compliment. I was like, when Tony Dunn walks in the door, I have to...
When I walk into trivia, the whole group, everybody looks at me, and Clip's like, what's good? And then I'm like, I take my seat at the royal table.
Well,
bodyguard.
You were standing awkwardly at Clip's table the other night, and I yelled out. No one heard me, but I was like, "You look like Clip's pet." They let
his bodyguard.
Yeah, he's my muscle. My muscle. All right, let's take a time out. We'll come back. As we go to break, you mentioned J.C. Horn. McLovin on the Dan Patrick Show. I saw a clip on Twitter. Andrew Perloff gave out his teams that he is the hot take king. He just says the one thing one week and one the next week. But today he said the teams that he likes to make a jump are the Chargers. And he said, and I saw a video with J.C. Horn. This guy's huge. He made him sound like he was like 6'8". But he really likes Horn. He says the Panthers are on the rise and a potential playoff team. Does Tony think they're a playoff team? Does Chandler? We'll talk about some potential teams that made the playoffs last year that won't be back this year, and vice versa, who missed it last year. they could make it this year. We'll talk about that when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this. Weekends are made for AJ McMurphy's. Start your Sunday fun day at AJ's. AJ's is now serving brunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and a build-your-own Bloody Mary bar. Enjoy your weekend with live music on Friday night and Saturday night with no cover charge. And you can catch all of the MLB and ECU baseball action on AJ's TVs. See you this weekend at AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
Greenville's original express car wash is now offering a fast pass for as low as $19.99. That's one pass, 4 locations, and unlimited washes. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and East 10th Street, and also in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road. And by popular demand, Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Coach Cliff Godwin. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been caring for our athletes at ECU for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for our sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experienced and professional services, call the team at Orthopedics East at 252-757-2663 or visit them online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
In studio today with Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions. And Tony, you love to help people remodel spaces or even do new construction.
We do, and we also can help people find financing when they want to do projects like this. And so we partner with folks like Joey Barrow with Annie Mac Mortgage.
And Joey's in studio with us as well. And Joey, people have a lot of financing questions to be able to help reach the home of their dreams, whether it's remodel or new construction.
No matter how large or small the project may be, we have options for you. Even if you have credit concerns, we provide guidance to help you get the home of your dream or turn the home that you currently have into the home of your dream.
Joey, how can folks get up with you?
You can call us today at 917-8400, or you can go to our website at greenville.annie-mac.com.
And Tony, what about if people have renovation questions? How can they get up with AG Home Solutions?
You can contact us at 947-2526 or check out our website at aghomesolutions.com.
Thanks again to Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions and Joey Barrow from Annie Mac Mortgage joining us today.
You know, texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has $6 lunch specials, a $10 pizza of the week, and every Thursday has $2 drafts all day. Sunday brunch is the best for food and family. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp and grits, made-to-order omelets, French toast, and drink specials like $3 mimosas, beer mimosas, or $5 Bloody Marys. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Pirate Radio.
It's going to change. I promise you. As I stand here, it will change. Okay, and when it does, that stadium, it's going to be rocking, and heaven help whoever walks in there to play us.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors. Parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or day trip. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember to focus on moving through the park, keep social distancing in mind, and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park with questions, or you can go online at ncparks.gov let me try that again. ncparks.gov ncparks.gov/open. Now back to you, Clip.
Alrighty. Thank you, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, Tony Dunn here in Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. And we'll talk some baseball coming up with Mike Mullis around 4 o'clock on today's show. Let's look at the teams that made the playoffs last year. Now, they expanded the playoffs last year, I think, for 1 year only. Are they continuing that?
I do not know.
Yeah, I believe they're going back to the regular format for this year. But anyway, so the extra teams that made it last year in the NFC, it was Troy D's Bears who got in as the 7th seed. The Colts made it as a 7 last year in the AFC. So teams that made it last year that won't make it this year, one really jumps out, and that's the football team of Washington, a.k.a. the Washington football team.
Why, are you not better this year?
Are we? I don't know.
You add a stud in Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Are we
you
better,
add a stud in
better
Curtis Samuel.
at quarterback?
Yes.
Maybe, potentially, with a QB that's never gone to the playoffs. I like what they did in the offseason with Samuel. I like what they did in the draft to fill needs at linebacker, DB, and O-line. So I feel pretty good, but Dak Prescott is back healthy. The Cowboys defense...
Is he? Or you just expect him?
Oh, good point. I expect Dak Prescott to be back healthy.
But they're also coached by the worst coach in the history of football.
Yeah, we got that.
I almost got duped on.
I tell you what, you want to talk about a fun team on Madden? How about the Giants with
Barkley?
Well, I'll talk about their quarterback in a moment. But Barkley, Kenny Galladay, they draft Tony from Florida.
Tony,
who is very fast.
Very fast.
They still have Slayton at receiver.
They added a bunch of corners to that
They still
group.
have Sterling Shepard.
He might still be on the roster. So, I mean, they have tons of weapons. I don't like their quarterback at all. He's like a low-key Jameis with his turnovers and
Daniel Jones.
The way he does not protect the ball.
Touchdowns that Jameis does.
You're right. He's Jameis without the good, without the positive stuff. So I do like that they're doing. I'm not really feeling the Eagles with Jalen Hurts.
Nope.
He does get a weapon in Devontae Smith.
They have a new coach. I don't know. The division is there for the taking.
They do have good processes.
Systems.
that they do. So I don't know. Do you guys, or is Washington the front runner in that division?
I mean, they kind of are until Daniel Jones can prove us. I think the Giants are starting to put together a roster that looks comprehensive on both sides of the ball, and really when you come down to the Washington football team, it just seems so one-sided towards defense that until we can see them get offensively consistent, it's going to be hard for them to rise to the top. But Fitzpatrick, as long as he can stay healthy, is not the. I mean, that's an upgrade. You're adding some part. Who are the other? Didn't you have a receiver that was starting to come out a little bit? McLaurin? No.
Terry McLaurin's a stud,
right? Yeah, last year.
No, his 2 years.
Oh, well, my bad.
You were really... Do I need to pull up some numbers for you, Tony?
I didn't know that this offensive threat was such a big deal. I mean, what do you have, a whopping 800 yards?
You better watch your tone here.
Watch your mouth.
Let's see what he had.
Terry McLaurin, rookie year, he had 58 for 919. Last year, 87 for over 1,100. Touchdown numbers aren't there because he didn't have a good QB. He did that with crappy quarterback play.
Okay. All right. Well, so now you're starting to put some things together.
If Logan Thomas can play like he did or even get better at tight end, all of a sudden they have weapons. Gibson looked good at running back as a rookie last year. So they got some stuff there.
If he snatches Money Mayweather's hat off his head again, I'm going to be so mad.
We're not talking about that crap, Tony.
Logan Thomas?
We're not talking about. I know what you're doing. Was that Logan Paul or Jake Paul?
Jake Paul.
Yeah, you didn't even get the right one. But I know where you're going for.
Logan Paul. Somebody. Aren't they all the same dude?
I don't know.
And Jake, aren't they brothers?
They are brothers, and they're both.
Are we still? Are we acting like
Mayweather?
Are we acting like what happened yesterday was legit?
What? Oh, you mean like that scene?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think it was? You mean you're like?
How many times have we had a weigh-in or a stare-down that ended in a squabble? So
you
people will buy the fight.
WWE, and then this is like, oh, this is so off-putting.
Yeah, you know that is scripted. You're watching something
They're the greatest athletes in the planet, people tell me.
Who, Logan Paul?
No, the WWE people.
They are. You don't think they're great athletes?
They're all right.
You've got some awful takes going.
They're showmen.
Terry McLaurin, just some guy.
I didn't say that.
Logan Paul, great boxer.
Did not say that. I just love money. Sorry. I was just trying to make fun of my ability to mix up names.
All right. Now,
it doesn't work when it's staged.
NFC team to miss the playoffs that made it last year.
Well, they played each other.
The front runners are Chicago, Washington. Should we put New Orleans in that category?
I think the two on that list are the 7 and the 2 seed. Chicago and New Orleans played each other in the playoffs, and neither one of them should make it. Again, Washington's going to be... But, Washington has the luxury of maybe winning the division. Chicago and New Orleans, neither of those are going to win the division.
Tampa is clearly the front runner right now in the South.
Yeah, they got to be.
Do the Rams... They get better. They'll get better with Stafford, right?
As long as he can stay, as long as he's healthy, yes, they're on their way. They're getting better. And then I guess you go to Green Bay and you say, is Aaron Rodgers going to be the quarterback there?
I just don't like that division. I think they're in a Washington situation where they're just better than everybody in their division. Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit.
I was thinking about putting some money on the under for the Green Bay Packers.
Really?
Because if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, they're definitely going under.
Right.
And then there's a chance if, some injury, they might not. I think they have them at 13 wins or something.
If you do it as a math or a probability equation, it's more probable they go under than over.
Yeah.
That's all right. So let's say Chicago, New Orleans, and fringe Washington are the teams that don't make it. We gotta, I guess, give a spot to who wins the East if Washington doesn't.
The Giants.
Wow, I'm just not ready to do that with Daniel Jones.
I'm not. I don't think that the Cowboys are going to be a good team, no matter what. Is one Dak Prescott, as he did ascend into the top tier of paid quarterbacks because of those first 4 or 5 games he had last year, where they were putting up monster offensive numbers. Their defense was just so awful and atrocious. I'm not convinced that Dak Prescott is going to be able to do that every year, and now on the difficulty of coming off a major injury, right? And so I think there's just as many question marks with Dallas as there is with New York at this moment.
All right, if we take out the Bears and potentially the Saints, that means somebody else is getting in. You got to immediately go to the NFC West.
I think so.
Could be Arizona. Could be
San Fran. The 49ers. Yeah, 49ers and the Cardinals. And look, even the Seahawks, right? I mean, the Seahawks is if they can put together an offensive line, and they tried to do some things to address this in the offseason after the Russell Wilson kind of outrage or him being vocally displeased with how, getting hit a lot. I think Seattle, there's somebody else that's coming out of that division. They got to. And Arizona's loading up, man. I mean, they're ready to go kill some mugs. Murder them.
We're gonna kill everyone.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite that didn't make it last year? I would probably say
the Cardinals.
I would say the Niners. I think they do this quite a bit, where they go up and down. And if they're healthy, QB. Which look, we're kind of going Garoppolo or Daniel Jones. Who do you like here? I guess I'd take Garoppolo a little ahead of Jones at this point. But Kyler Murray and the Cardinals certainly a contender. How about you, Chandler? Who's your favorite team that missed the playoffs last year that makes it this year? Is it an NFC East team other than Washington? Is it Arizona, San Fran, or
the Carolina Panthers?
Panthers, Falcons.
I was trying to think of the teams that didn't make it last year, but then
I just listed a ton of them.
I know, but Tony just mentioned the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals, I could see them, Kyler Murray making his first playoff appearance.
Yeah, they're fun.
Murdering everybody.
They got James Conner at running back. DeAndre Hopkins is coming into his second year with Arizona.
AJ Green.
JJ Watt.
What if AJ Green still has something in the tank?
A good possession receiver.
Yeah. He could be a Larry Fitzgerald type guy at this point in his career.
And is Fitz on? Did he retire?
No.
So he's on that team too?
Yeah.
Holy moly. He's the ageless wonder.
Looking at the AFC.
Who doesn't make it?
Can the Titans make it back?
Pittsburgh doesn't make it?
That could be a good call there. So the favorite in that division is who?
The Browns
or Ravens.
Yeah.
Are you really think it's the Browns? Could the Browns win the division this year? Yes,
I think so.
Yeah, that would. I like all these teams that made it last year.
Did you see the Villanueva comment?
No, but what did he say about Pittsburgh?
He's like he said that he was excited about coming to Baltimore. A run first team makes it easier for offensive linemen, but he says, I'm sure those wide receivers aren't as happy doing their TikToks on the side or whatever.
Wow. Hey, look, I think that's well deserved. There was a lot of flair with Juju and not enough substance for the Steelers last year.
Well, there's always a lot of flair with wide receivers. They are the diva of the NFL.
So he's with the Ravens?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he's got a guy receiver named Hollywood.
I know. And Juju turned them down.
That's right. To
go back to the Steelers.
Well, let's look at teams that didn't make it. They could take a step. Are the Patriots one of those teams? They spent a ton of money in the offseason.
Oh, no, it's Miami.
Yeah, Miami 10-6.
That's going to be tough. That's a tough division. It's, the Bills are on top. It's going to be hard to replicate the success that they've had. I know that, you're ready for every team to get over the hump. But man, is that they were pretty much healthy last year. Is that injuries is whoever can stay healthy to the end. So you get the Bills and the Dolphins that are tough there. You've got the Ravens and the Browns. So there's two teams there. Look, I believe that. I mean, the Colts, I don't think are going anywhere. I think they got better with adding Carson Wentz. I know that a lot of people are not excited about that, but their defense. And then, did you see their draft? Their draft was awesome. Is they have a cool? Can I say badass? You just did. Well, they have a very bad, mean defense in a good way, and they just went and drafted more guys. They just keep loading up and loaded up.
They love to run the ball with Taylor and Mack and those guys. They have found their identity.
Yeah, they really stuck to it in the draft. So I don't see them going anywhere. Right?
They got a guy named Quiddy.
Yeah.
All right, that's a cool name. And they got Deo. Did they just draft cool names?
Deo? How many? What's that last person? Will Fires?
They just got the whole cool name team, I guess.
Oh, and they got Sam Ellinger. Did you hear his brother?
Yeah, that was
terrible.
Yep. Did they say what happened?
No, they just said it did not appear to be suspicious. So,
man,
it could be.
Could be anything.
Yeah.
All right. Other teams. Anybody in the West, Tony? Chargers. We like Herbert. Broncos, no, with their QB situation.
Raiders, no.
No. I don't like the Raiders either.
Yeah, this and that. The AFC is going to be tough to break through, right? Every division has a guy as a team that's really difficult to overcome. If it's Tennessee in the South, right, a sound team they have the formula to kind of always get to the playoffs, run the ball.
Yeah, why did you question them at the top of this conversation, Chandler?
Their defense.
Which they went out and drafted some, they're adding some pieces, I think, at corners.
They lost 3 corners in the offseason with Adoree Jackson, Desmond King, who was there just
Malcolm Butler?
And Malcolm Butler.
They didn't even like Malcolm Butler anyway.
They draft Fairley?
Caleb Farley.
Farley, sorry. because I remember while that was going on, I was watching the Barstool draft, or I was coming back from CW's draft party and had that in the aux cord hooked up to it, and they had Will Compton and Taylor Lewan, the Bussin' with the Boys.
Yeah, I love that pod.
And they were talking about who they should draft, and they thought they were like, we need to get the receiver from Ole Miss would be pretty good to pair with AJ Brown. But I remember they drafted a corner at that time, and they said that was a big need for that team.
Yeah, definitely. I like the Dolphins out of this group, that team that didn't make it last year.
You like Steelers out and Dolphins in. And you made a good point, Tony. Like, we could pick and choose several NFC teams that may not make it this year. It's really tough to take one of these out. And you're saying Pittsburgh, I could see that. But I don't want to take the Titans out.
Look at this. You had a 10-3 team in the Bills. You had 2 11-5
13-3.
Oh, 13-3. Thank you. 2 11-5 teams. Heck, the Pittsburgh Steelers were frauds at 12-4.
They started 11-0, 10-0, whatever.
I mentioned the Titans not missing the playoffs because of their defense, but if you look at it, their defense wasn't that good last year, and they still made their offensive power is just out of this world with Derrick Henry. But they also lost guys like Corey Davis, I believe, to the Jets.
Yeah.
But AJ Brown, him and Ryan Tannehill are just a great duo.
There's the tight end as well.
Jonnu Smith, but
he went to New England.
Yes, went to New England. So
I won't be surprised if the Colts win that division this year.
I'm not a Wentz believer, but I would probably go back with the Titans. All right, let's take another timeout. We'll come back, a little more NFL, and we'll talk some NHL with Tony Dunn, because he was at PNC Arena last night to watch the Canes in their final home game. Let's take a look at the standings, see what's left, and see what it means for, I guess, next week. The playoffs start.
Right around the corner.
That's awesome. We'll take a timeout, come back, have more for you after this.
The Tarboro River Bandits are back, and this year we'll have a full season, and all fans are welcome this year. Come watch some of the best collegiate baseball around with over 20 Division I players on this active roster looking to compete at a high level. We have a family-friendly atmosphere, awesome stadium, food and drink specials, plus the coldest beer on the East. Come do something different with the family this summer with the Tarboro River Bandits. 29 home games to choose from. Tickets available at the gate or online at TarboroRiverBandits.com.
A car wash experience like no other is here at the new Tommy's Express. You'll enjoy a gentle belt conveyor ride through our bright, inviting wash as luscious foams and soft cloths treat your car like new. After a final rinse, wax, and blow dry for a beautiful spot-free shine in just about 3 minutes, help yourself to our free vacuums and mat washers. We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
If Jersey Mike's turkey had a resume, it would say it's 99% fat-free and raised without antibiotics. But our turkey already has its dream job at Jersey Mike's, because premium meat makes a sub above. Jersey Mike's would like to dedicate the next 3 seconds to our new grilled portobello mushroom and Swiss sub. Trust us, it tastes good too, because fresh ingredients make a sub above.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that. Plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
At Tiebreakers, we admit we have a bit of a problem. People love our wings so much that they're starting to sell their home TVs just so they can watch all the sporting events here at Tiebreakers. Seriously, we're glad you love our hand-breaded, hand-cut boneless wings that much, but we really need you to go home at the end of the night. It's okay, we'll be here tomorrow. And when you come back, bring a friend with you. For great food, great friends, and cold beer, we'll see you at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers, break the chain, eat local.
Spring is a great time to plant flowers, trees, and bushes. When planning your landscape, please keep in mind that you should never plant anything within 3 feet of a gas, electric, or water meter. The same thing applies if you have an electric transformer in your yard, except keep plants 8 feet clear of the front in case crews need access during a storm or an outage. Always remember to call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig to avoid underground lines. This important safety message is from your neighbors at Greenville Utilities.
If you love the food at Villa Verde, and hey, who doesn't? Now Villa Verde makes it even easier for you to order takeout. Tell us about it, Jay.
If you go to myvillaverde.com, you can order online, and we'll have it ready for you to go. Plus, you can pick it up at either one of our locations. No waiting in line to pay, and no waiting at all. Just pick it up and go. With online ordering from myvillaverde.com or from our mobile app, plus even from our Facebook page. Villa Verde, now with 2 Greenville locations to serve you. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
Hey Birdland, Orioles 2021 single game tickets are on sale now at Orioles.com/tickets. Tickets are flexible and affordable. Individual tickets start as low as $15. Purchase your single game tickets and choose from popular promo dates, including the Memorial Day Beach Towel and more. Plus, to make sure your experience is worry-free, we've introduced enhanced game day health and safety protocols. Capacity is limited, so select your dates and purchase tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets.
This is East Carolina assistant basketball coach Steve Rockford, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? Listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
All right, we picked up a straggler during the break. What a treat. Former Pirate Radio intern Brooks Hill is in town to see his friends graduate. Stopped by UBE, came in here, and I said, you know what? We're about to talk some hockey because Tony Dunn was at the game last night. And Brooks, that is your passion. You are our resident Caniac. Welcome back to the studio.
It feels great to be back in the new and improved Pirate Radio studio.
You look good.
Thank you.
Everything going good?
Yeah, everything's going good. We just wrapped up state playoffs for lacrosse. We were able to win the first round on the road, which was the first time in school history that lacrosse has won in 7 years. So that was really cool to be a part of. Unfortunately, we got eliminated last night, but we kind of knew that going into it that we were going David versus Goliath, and unfortunately Goliath won that one.
Man, you hate when Goliath wins. All right, so Tony, let's talk about your experience last night. Was that your first game?
First game this year.
Yeah. What is the atmosphere like for the crowd that they can get into that building?
Well, it's like wonderful to watch because it's like the most relaxed environment because there's nobody there. You can get your food right away. It's easy to park and you get out of there quickly. So
the things that kind of annoy you about going to an awesome sporting event, you don't have to worry about those things.
Right. On the other hand, it's kind of boring in a way because you're trying to cheer and you almost feel ridiculous being like, and everybody's just kind of sitting around and stuff. So, but it's nice, man. It's just nice to see they're starting to put more people in. And, if you've been to a hockey game, there's not a bad seat in the house. And, it's a perfect trip from Greenville. It's an hour and 20-minute drive door to door. The game starts, now that they start at 7, didn't they used to drop the puck at 7:30 a lot, I feel like?
It depends on who was having the broadcast rights, things like that.
Because the 7 o'clock puck drop is awesome. I was walking in my door by 11 o'clock last night. It's just a perfect amount of time. It's not like football, where by the time you get home, you're exhausted from the day. The Charlotte trip is too difficult to do in a single day. You could buy season tickets and live in Greenville and go to every Canes game and it not be a big stress on your life.
One thing that really stood out to me going to my first one was the time after the national anthem, but the space between the national anthem and the puck drop is like 3 seconds. Like, it's
they
crazy.
Don't mess around. Dude.
I'm like still looking around and getting all the sights
and you missed the first
game's
goal
going on. Yeah, it's that really stood out to me. So the Canes lose last night,
right? And so we played that game on the app where you get to choose, like you pick who's going to score the first goal, how many shots on net they're going to have. And I was very excited. My choice for first goal would have been Natius. He was not a choice on the game app.
That's your guy.
That's my favorite player. I said he's going to score for me, and he did. He scored a shorthanded goal, and they dominated the first period with 16 or 17 shots on goal. I thought we were going high at 11. I was like, that's going to be 33 shots on goal for the whole game. And boy, they just came out. They were firing away, and Mrazek played fantastic in that first period. They fell asleep in the second period and kind of didn't wake up for the rest of the game. Mrazek, kind of up and down in that game. In the beginning, he was just making so many great saves, bailing the defense out. They were probably dependent on him a little bit too much and forcing him on that. Kind of some fluke goal. That first deflection was tough because that puck was headed to the corner, it looked like, and it just took a right turn towards the net. Difficult. I saw Rob Brendamore say that they needed to get beat up like that right at this time. They still got a point because you made it overtime, but you could tell it was chippy out there too. The Blackhawks were being mean. They put Natius over the bench one time and wouldn't let him get up. I mean, they were everybody was just they're just laying people out.
Maybe they watched that Capitals and Rangers the night before and wanted to get a little chippy or something.
There was a couple of times they looked like they were headhunting, and a couple of Carolina Hurricanes took some bailed out at the right moment.
Well, I think that's the right decision to bail out at the last second. I mean, hey, Carolina's going to play at a home game 1, and Chicago will be
sitting at home.
Hole 1 on the golf course. So Zadorov, who actually, if you remember at the beginning of the year, is the one who gave Teravainen the concussion that caused him missed so many games. So, and he was kind of headhunting again, and you saw Teravainen, dodge out of the way, and then you saw Natius dive out of the way one time, which, you can be like, you got to take the hit, make the play. Well, also in the back of your mind, be like, hey, I just missed 25 games, like, a week ago, so
those were all good business decisions by those players because they were about to get mugged. And even though I was so mad that the Natius goal is that I was distracted, and with hockey it's so quick, everything's so fast. If you look down for a second, you get distracted by a fan beside you, you miss a goal. I didn't even get to see the Natius goal. I had to watch it on the replay because a Blackhawk player was trying to stop the puck from keep it in the zone. He spins around, falls down, and the ref jumps up on the wall trying to get out of the way, and his face and his knee just collide. The ref was apologizing to him, and they were just kept playing on. I was like, is this guy all right? And then it's goal, and
yeah, it's one of those weird things that the linesmen and the referees get in the way a lot in hockey, and because there's 4 of them, a lot of the coaches and the general managers are pleading in their meetings to go down to at least 3, just only have 1 head official and then the still 2 linesmen. But it's almost like in football where, if the ball hits the umpire, the ball's still alive, everything like that, and they're not going to stop the play because he ran into the official.
God, he took it, man. He took it too. It was tough. And a lot of people on the hitting the deck last night. Everybody was falling down. It was not pretty. And really, the Hurricanes beat themselves in that game, I feel like.
Brooks, help us out, myself, Tony, and the people listening. So,
all right.
First of all, when does the playoffs start?
Not for a while. Hurricanes are going to have some downtime because they still have to make up. Vancouver has still make up games? Yes, because they have implications. Even though Vancouver will probably not make the playoffs, they have implications on the seeding for the Canadian division. So if I check the ESPN app real quick.
Wow, they've only played 48 games, and the Canes have played 54.
Yeah,
so we are going to be sitting around for a little while. All right, when the playoffs do begin, so is it 4 teams from every division make it?
Yep, so 16 teams.
So the Canes are going to play either Nashville or Dallas in the first round. Would they play with one matchup before?
Yes, 1 to 4, 2 and 3. If they can still not finish first. That's still very on the table, but they got getting a point last night helps their case to get to 1. And I said I think it might cost them the presidents.
So this extremely stinks.
How are they not going to finish first? They're 5 points ahead of Tampa Bay.
Tampa has
an extra game.
Tampa has 6 points available. So if Tampa wins out and Carolina loses out, Tampa will be.
Brooks is being negative. We're gonna finish.
No, I'm just trying to keep you honest. It's a possibility they could not finish first. I think they're going to finish first. They're the favorites to finish.
So if they win one more game,
yes, magic number is 2,
which is bad because we play poorly against bad teams.
Yes, I got very disappointed last night when the game got over. I was like, man, we always lose the teams that aren't in the playoff contention.
And Detroit has been our Achilles heel all season, and they're terrible.
And we went 4-4 with Detroit, and they're 7th in the division.
All right, so we're tired of playing these same teams, but the bad news is in the playoffs,
we gotta do it again.
You're going to do it for 2 rounds, right?
2?
Yes.
So we have to. We're going to be playing the Panthers or the Lightning before this is over.
Yes. But it's supposed to be a great. If you're a Hurricanes fan, you're really pulling for that because you've seen those teams all year.
Yeah, but as a fan, I want to see somebody different.
You go 6-0-2 against Florida, and you go 4-3-1 in Tampa.
They're good. I don't want to play.
The Hurricanes are good.
They are. I'd rather play Florida.
I'd rather play Florida too.
Tampa is legit. Like they're big, fast all the time.
Tampa's going to get a weapon back with Nikita Kucherov, who hasn't played the entire year, but said he was going to come back for the playoffs. So he's really dangerous. He's former multiple NHL All-Star years. So, and then the Panthers actually have been playing good with an injury to their defense. Next man up, and then they have a college graduate now playing goalie. Or as their backup behind Bobrovsky and Spencer Knight.
And you brought this up, Brooks, last time we talked. How about this, Tony? So they're going to reseed once you get past the first 2 rounds, correct? When there's 4 teams left?
Yes.
And, there's a chance how the seeding goes that the Canes could play, the Penguins or the Capitals in the Stanley Cup.
That's cool.
Championship.
That's going to be cool.
It's kind of like the old. It's like the old days when they had the Patrick division and Norris division. Things like that, where you have a Boston versus Pitt, you have a Boston versus Pittsburgh Stanley Cup final, and Canada gets left out again.
Canes just need to take care of business. They'll have home ice throughout.
They got to stay healthy.
But there's still a chance they could not have home ice in round 2 if things go bad here.
Correct. They're guaranteed at least the 2nd seed going into the playoffs.
Correct. All right.
So
one of the things that's really interesting about this Canes team to me is just how balanced they are. Is that the stars have really become stars over the season, right? Is that the guys that you needed, the Aho, right? Niederreiter's having a fantastic season, but we have had a ton of injuries, and it has been next man up, next man up. I thought, man, this Canes team is so offensively explosive. We got to have the leaders in points and goals. And then I go and look at the goal scores across the league, and it's not even close. There are guys that are just are those teams just so unbalanced in a way?
A lot of them are top heavy. A lot of the Canadian teams, like the Edmonton Oilers with McDavid and Draisaitl, are very first line heavy. The Maple Leafs are a little bit more balanced, but I would still consider them first and second line heavy. I think the Hurricanes' success this year has been how much depth they've had. You talk about Jordan Staal has 15 goals, and 2 years ago that was unheard of. Niederreiter has 20, so he just earned a good bonus in his contract incentive.
Yep. Aho's got 24.
Yep. Nedeljkovic will, if he starts one of these last 2 games, he'll move his contract from unrestricted free agent to restricted free agent, which essentially means that he'll stay in Carolina for at least another year. If he does play, now they could choose to let him walk at the end of the year, which I don't think they will. But now you have to now the hardest decision going into the playoffs is who's going to be your game 1 starter. And I think Nedeljkovic. It's
got to be Ned.
I think it has to be Nedeljkovic too.
He's looked better the whole season.
Yeah,
the whole season.
I think so too. But you got to say, out of the 9 wins that Mrazek has, 3 of them are shutouts.
Ned
it's a good problem to have.
Though. He's got like
it is. It's a great problem.
It's a good problem to have. We're up against it, guys. We gotta say goodbye to Tony Dunn and to Brooks Hill. Brooks, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, perfect timing, I guess.
If we do a watch party, you said you're in.
Yes,
Tony's definitely in for that. So we'll do a playoff watch party at some point for the Carolina Hurricanes. That'll be a lot of fun. Tony, check out the C3 podcast on Tuesdays. And we'll see you next week.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Brooks, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you guys, too.
Enjoyed it. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. We'll talk some baseball when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Get you an ECU update. Talk about what's going on in Major League Baseball. Shirley Rose has a recap of all the former Pirates playing minor league baseball right now. Great night for some former Diamond Bucks. We'll take a timeout, come back, and have more for you after this.
In studio with Jay from Villa Verde. And Jay, a special event going on in our community this week, teamed up with F3 ENC, and we're going to be talking about men's mental well-being. What's going to be going on?
We're going to have men's workout. We're going to have breakfast. We're going to have a gathering of men from our community coming together and locking arms, making sure that every single man in our community is doing well mentally.
If you want to participate, go to f3enc.com/tribe and look for details of where this is going to be. Starts at 6:30 a.m. with a F3 workout for 45 minutes. At 7:15, there's going to be speakers from our community talking about men's mental well-being. Jay, we all need this. Folks can come out for either or both, so we hope to have a big crowd this Saturday.
We're counting on you. Step up.
Don't miss this awesome community event on men's mental well-being this Saturday. Go to f3enc.com/tribe to learn more. This event is open to all men. Go to f3enc.com/tribe.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip? American Airlines has recently added more flights in and out of PGV. Book today and enjoy the friendly convenience of flying from your local airport. American Airlines, now with more flights available at PGV. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust? Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked! This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust one-topping pizza for only $12. The new Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. They thank you for your continued support and trust during these trying times. Many services can be done remotely and free pickup and delivery is available. As a Dell business partner and Apple authorized service provider, you can count on University PC Care for all your personal and business tech support needs. To make a remote appointment or to bring in your device for service at their Greenville or New Bern locations, call 558-1280 or go online at universitypccare.com.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Jersey Mike's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. You can order in-store or online through the Jersey Mike's app. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live, Hour 2. Got a great giveaway today. It is Free Beer Friday. Free Beer Friday brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade. The bubbly refreshment of seltzer meets the taste of sweet lemonade, featuring their bold flavors: original lemonade, strawberry lemonade, black cherry lemonade, peach lemonade. You can get them all in a variety pack, and that's what we got for you today. We'll give you a 12-pack of Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, Bud Light T-shirt and koozie, new Pirate Vibes Only T-shirt, and a large pizza from Domino's. It can be yours coming up on today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. We'll do that in Hour 3. Here is the sweet Bud Light T-shirt that you can wear, as I'm trying to figure that out. If you're watching, you can wear that one. Shirley is modeling the Pirate Vibes Only shirt here on this Free Beer Friday. Do we have our guest on the Fixed NC Live line?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. Mike Mullis joins us. Mully, happy Friday to you. Hey, it's nice and sunny right now, and it just poured down rain. It's doing a little bit of everything today. How you doing, Mully?
Yeah, it is pouring down rain where I'm at over on Greenhalgh Boulevard. And I'm going to tell you, man, the traffic, it's obviously graduation weekend. It's a zoo out here.
It's as advertised. It's a tough one to be out on the roads with everything going on. Right now, you got some baseball going on at Clark LeClaire Stadium. Looks like some rain's coming down over there. Just a stone's throw away here from the Pirate Radio studios. But right now, the Pirates with a 5-2 lead in the 6th inning, Mully. Bases are jacked, and we talked about this one all week. This game one in particular. Braden Olthoff, the ace for Tulane, versus Gavin Williams, the ace for ECU. And Gavin was better than Braden today. Pirates were able to touch him up a little bit, including back-to-back home runs by Bryson Worrell and Seth Cadell earlier, and now ECU trying to add to that lead. But this is a big one, Mully. You throw out your aces, you got to get that first one, and could really set the tone for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. This is, these are fun series as players, as coaches. I mean, it's, these are the kind of the old cliche of, this is why you play the game kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of fun for those guys and chance to compete at a very high level. And, let's not say too much. There's still some outs left both ways, but hopefully the Pirate bullpen will come in when called upon and do their deal.
Big series and an important announcement being made at the end of next week, as I saw Kendall Rogers tweet out that initially it was going to be 16 teams announced on May the 10th. Then it became 20 teams, 20 sites will be announced for regional play. Next Thursday or Friday is that announcement will come out, those regional sites, and then they'll narrow it down to 16. But Mully, Pirates need a winning series here, potentially a split series. They could still be in good shape. But regardless of all that, after a couple of weekend splits, I know Cliff Godwin's ready to go out and win a series after what happened against Wichita and UCF.
Yeah, I don't think a split series would be. I don't know if that'd be enough, Clip, because I think that'd put them in a dead tie for first place in the conference.
But a split series would give Tulane would still be in the lead. Tulane is right now looking down at ECU.
I knew there was it a game and a half or a 2-game lead for Tulane? Yeah.
Right.
So, I think they need 3, and I don't think that means if they don't get the 3, I don't know if it means no list of 20,
right?
But I think but I do think it tightens things up, and I think with the series win, I think you're guaranteed the list of 20. And I kind of like that term, though, the list of 20. It's like a new, it's one of those terms that we love in sports. But anyway, it gets you on that precious list right now, and the bottom line is just win and take care of today's game, and and then and let it go. Kind of the chips fall where they may. I don't think we'll see a repeat of what we saw with Wichita, where I think the whole focus of the effort is going to be the consistent effort, and you got to feel better about where some of the starters were last week in their appearances. So I mean, it'll be a fun weekend. I mean, drink it in, because it's unless there is a regional in Greenville, this is the last home stand.
Pirates will be on the road to wrap up 2021 regular season at Cincinnati, at South Florida, and then down to Clearwater for the AAC tournament, and then hopefully back here for some postseason baseball. And you never know what it's going to be, Mully, but how about the projection that came out this week by D1 Baseball that had East Carolina, and the 4 seed would be USC Upstate, and then South Carolina and NC State joining that regional. And we've seen enough of them in regionals past to know what they bring to the table baseball-wise. But that'd be interesting. And look, it's called a regional. They regionalize it, and in this COVID era, they'll probably try to make it even more regionalized, I would think.
Well, and that's funny you mentioned that. I was having this exact conversation yesterday at lunch with a couple athletic administrators from other institutions, and we were talking about the whole name regional, but we've seen ones that stand out. UVA having to go to San Diego State, and I mean, sometimes it's not quite as regional as the name would project it to be. I do agree with you. I think they'll maybe make that effort in COVID, but those projections, man, I wonder. I would love to know. Maybe it's worth tracking. So we're 3 weeks out from the end of the season or conference tournament play. I wonder what the accuracy of any of those regional projections will be.
Right.
Man, there's not a harder game to handicap than college baseball. And look, I watched USC Upstate play Clemson this week, and it was a nip and tuck ball game. Man, it's just there's lots and lots and lots of quality baseball out there. So I don't think anybody gets too worked up or too sprung about who may or may not come in here. I think it's the first things first is take care of Tulane this weekend, take care of the conference the rest of the way, and then deal with what hand you're dealt.
Talking to Mike Mullis on the Fixed NC Live line. Mully, I know you've watched Shohei Ohtani and what he's done on the mound and at the dish for the Angels this year. How about my guy, Huascar Ynoa from the Braves? Have you seen what he's been doing, not only on the mound, but at the dish, hitting a grand slam? He's homered in back-to-back games that he started for Atlanta, and got him a granny this week.
Yeah, I don't think we're quite ready to compare him to Shohei, but he's doing good things. Listen, it's cool. It's got to be cool for him to be compared to Shohei, because the only person they can compare Shohei to is Babe Ruth.
Right.
So I mean, it's still, that is that one of those things you go, well, if I'm doing this and compared to Shohei, then I must have some parallels with Babe Ruth, and that can't be all bad.
Mully, you follow the O's, and it's a lot more fun to follow them when they're not in this rebuild mode that they're in right now. But how about John Means picking up a no-hitter? And Mully, I don't know, you are a Cal fan, I remember, so you've watched baseball just about your entire life without seeing a no-hitter.
Yeah, you know what, and I didn't realize that. I mean, because we've been so pathetic for so long that the last highlight I remember was Cal's, Swan Song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really kind of been a dry run. I mean, I guess I'll say it for you. Maybe that's my penance for having or enjoying the success I've enjoyed with my football.
Right.
But anyway, sorry, I had a call coming in. You know what? Yeah, it was cool. It's kind of the catcher the catcher loses the perfect game on a drop third strike.
Yeah,
that's a little painful. But he does all he can. He erases that guy, throwing him out of second. So, but no, pretty cool. And and I'm always curious about this. It's very rare that you have the Nolan Rhymes, the Randy Johnsons, the Roger Clemens, guys that are Hall of Famers that have multiple no hitters. It's always a guy that you've really never heard of. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't we have a former Pirate throw a no-hitter for the Oriole? Oh,
No, the Chris Heston threw one for the San Francisco Giants.
There we go for the Giants. But yeah, I should have known that. We just said this was the first one since 1960 or whatever. But
And John and John Means is definitely not a household name. He was an all-star in 19. Didn't have a great 2020 in the short season, but he is their ace right now. He's had a great year, and he again, people don't know who he is, but he's definitely their best starter and a really quality starter for the O's.
Well, and that kind of tells you where the O's are at.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, it's always cool to see a no hitter. It's and I think they're going to become more and more frequent. Now that we live in the lifetime of the generation of the long ball, you a lot of swing and miss. But nonetheless, he went out there and towed the bump and did what he had to do.
Big series this weekend. You can hear the games right here on Pirate Radio. Orioles hosting the first place Boston Red Sox. Sox right now 6 games over 500 at 19 and 13, taking on the O's this weekend at Camden Yards. So that'll be fun. The Braves have a big series with the Phillies, and we'll have big crowds for that. They're opening up 100% starting tonight, Mully. So I'm looking forward to that scene in Atlanta. And also, speaking of crowds from Major League Baseball, did you happen to watch any of the Astros and their trip to Yankee Stadium and the jeering and boos and vulgar chants they got this midweek?
Yeah, and I'm not surprised, especially at the home of the Bronx cheer. I would think, if they were to go to Philadelphia, that would be much the same reception with the crowd. The crowd that notoriously booed Santa Claus. I don't have a problem with it. I don't. It's they earned that one, and they're going to have to wear it. And and I think Dusty Baker's come out and hey, wins it enough. They got a free pass last year, so the fans are getting their they're getting their comeuppance this year. So I think it's one of those deals where the Dusty and the boys are just going to have to chill out and deal with it, and it'll be over when it's over. And in some minds, it'll never be over.
Mike Mullis joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Mully, the Wells Fargo Championship going on in Charlotte, and you've got scores ranging from 6 under par, where 4 golfers are at the top of the leaderboard, to 13 over par, 14 over par for Norlander. So you got scores ranging from there. It looks like HV3 won't be around for the weekend. He is +3. It looks like the cutoff is going to be at +1. But anything to keep an eye on in Charlotte this weekend?
I mean, with Harold, that was kind of an exciting storyline. Obviously, him being at home or close to home, and him obviously the ties to East Carolina. But no, I mean, I think it's fun. The other one was Webb. Webb had to withdraw, had a neck injury, I guess. So, I think it's just kind of they'll play the string out, see what happens. I think the more interesting conversation in golf right now is the proposed Super League, and it'll be kind of interesting to see how that shakes out. That's been what everybody's been talking about this week, and where they're offered $30 million to come play, it's a fairly limited schedule, and they're jetting them and fly, whatever. And the PGA's come out and said, well, if you do that, then you're all far, you're all far league. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see how strong. Really, what you got here is a duel between money, like crazy money, and history with really good money. So it'll be interesting to see which one wins.
Sounds like exactly what soccer just went through with the Super League, where the fans got upset and put enough pressure on those Premier League teams to back out of that league. And we'll follow that story with golf and see who prevails. Mully, talked to MLB, ECU. There's, of course, Greenville Little League going on, high school baseball, tons of baseball. The Wood Ducks returning to Granger Stadium on Tuesday. So, I don't know, you've been able to catch any live baseball, and do you have any live baseball in your plans coming up the next few weeks?
I've been out to Elm Street a time or two, and kind of been over and caught a little bit through the fence at Pitt. But it's still, I just have a lot going on.
I know.
And personally,
I know.
So I try to keep up with everything I can. And look, man, that's one of the beauties of everything is streamed. I mean, we were having dinner last night, and Greenville Little League stream comes up, and so I mean, you can watch it without being there, which is kind of is good and bad. It takes away, obviously, from some of the fans that may would have attended, but it allows the casual fan a chance to watch. So, but, you know, in this world, man, you can watch as many games as you want to see.
Mully, let's do a Woody's game sometime this summer.
Oh, man, I'd love to. Yeah, that's always enjoyable, and you know, I love that ballpark. A lot of history in that ballpark, and no, I'm in. Let me know.
You ever played there?
No, I threw BP there for a season. Actually, when Eric Wedge was there, I've managed a couple of games, coached a couple of games. But yeah, when Eric Wedge was the manager there, he had a blown rotator cuff, and North Johnson, who was a partner in the GM, asked me to come out. So probably the best part-time job I ever had.
Yeah.
Great hustle, and you know, go throw a little BP, and you get to hit the spread in the locker room after BP, and you know, maybe have a cold beverage or two.
What's the minor league spread, Mully? What's on that? Do you remember?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it depends. In Kinston, there's a gentleman there who actually lives in Greenville now, and they had a generational restaurant called Christopher's. His name is Chris Maroulis, one of the coolest guys you'll ever meet. But Chris always had a really good spread. I mean, he was known for his, you know, southern cooking, his fried chicken and collard greens and that type of stuff. So it was a legit spread. And there would be times where it might not be quite that. Maybe it's sandwiches, or a common one is tacos, some type of where you got a vehicle like a tortilla chip and something to put in it, and you wrap it up and eat it, and you know, and that's a lot of it is about ease of consumption as well. So
there you go.
Kind of all over the place. C.C. Sabathia was there at the time, and he was he made sure that the spread was what it needed to be.
There you go. CC was taking them down, I'm sure. Mully, great to chat with you as always. Have a great weekend, buddy, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, Clipper. See you, pal.
5-star virtual, fixed NC, Mike Mullis, getting it done with business and pleasure, joining us here on the program today. Shirley, we got to call Greeny here in a second, but before we do, let's run down a couple of highlights from last night, and a great night for some former Pirates. Who are you starting with? Another Burley bomb, right?
Yeah, I'm going to start with Burley because he had a monster night last night for the Peoria Chiefs. He went 2 for 5, hit another home run. That's back-to-back home runs in consecutive games. He also had 3 hits in the game as well. Well, if you count the home run, 2 RBIs, and the Chiefs pick up a win over the Cedar Rapids Colonels, I believe is the correct one. Yeah, that's right. Cedar Rapids Colonels 11-2 was the final.
Your goal by the end of this whole thing is to know all the names of the minor league teams.
Oh, no, because you're not, no. Unless I write it down, I'm not going to know it. And Burley even had an Oppo single in that game, too, that he beat the shift, and so he shows that he can go the opposite way, too. So he had a pretty good night last night. Bryant Packard had a good night last night for the West Michigan Whitecaps. He was 3 for 4, had 2 RBIs, and the Whitecaps beat the Fort Wayne Tin Caps 6-3. And Fort Wayne has another former Pirate on that team as well, Dwanye Williams-Sutton. He drew a walk, but that was about it as far as Dwanye's stats go. And here was an interesting one last night, and I didn't realize it until I hopped up on my Instagram, and I look and see Jake Washer had some videos up on his Instagram, so I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, okay, Jake is playing. He's catching, and I'm like, okay. And then I realized, wait a minute, he's not catching, he's pitching.
Whoa.
Jake Washer pitched in the top of the 9th inning for the South Bend Cubs last night as they had to rally in the bottom of the 9th but could not finish it off. But he retired all 3 batters that he faced. He forced 2 ground outs and then a pop fly to finish off the inning. The Cubs, however, lost to Quad Cities by a final of 9-8.
They should be the Quad City DJs, but they're probably not.
You know, I want to say it every time, but it's not. It's something completely different, and
By the way,
didn't write it down.
My woe was not for Washer, although I did say that when you first told me about it earlier today.
Yeah.
My woe was for the ball that Connor Norby just hit on the Charles Boulevard.
Oh, he hit another home run?
Oh, my goodness.
There's another homer?
An absolute bomb.
It's a no doubter. It was a he
Well,
kind of
shoot,
he watched
Ryder
it.
Giles is still in shock. Look at him. His jaw is just hanging down on the floor.
He just
He
sat
admired
there.
it.
Yeah, he sat there and watched it for about a good 3 or 4 seconds, and then kind of took a few steps for a walk, and then started trotting around the bases.
Okay, then.
And
All
what's
right,
the
go
doozy?
Connor Norrie.
Pirates up 8-2.
All right, we got Burley, we got Packard. Shirley, let's take a timeout.
Yeah.
We'll hit Greeny, and then we'll hit the rest of them at the end of this hour. How about
All right,
that?
sounds good.
All right, good stuff. Shirley Rose, Chandler Honeycutt. Hey, while Brooks Hill's here just watching baseball, maybe we can put him to work, make him do something. Nah, Brooks' working days are over
Take
here.
the the trash out, Brooks. It is trash.
Like old times.
We don't pay him enough to do that these days.
All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. More to go on Pirate Radio Live here on a Friday. We'll talk a little golf when we return after this.
Here with Melissa from Ens Hemp Company. Melissa, tell us how your products and services can help people.
Well, for over 2.5 years, the team at Ens Hemp Company has been helping educate our community on the many benefits of our products. Our customers have seen great success dealing with everything from stress, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and PTSD, just to name a few. You can come in today and our staff can help you find the best products for your needs. You can visit us at Fire Tower Road near Sam Jones Barbecue or enshempcompany.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by GolfKnickers.com, the world's leader in traditional golf apparel. Hosts Mark Greenhalgh and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with zero interest up to 48 months and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at FactoryMattressUSA.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
This is Brian Packard, ECU former baseballer. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. And do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Well, keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio for 18 years. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
All righty, back with you on PRL. Hour 2 coming up in Hour 3. Got a great giveaway. It's Free Beer Friday. Brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade. We've got a 12-pack of Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, Bud Light T-shirt and koozies, a new Pirate Vibes Only T-shirt, and a large pizza from Domino's. They can all be yours in Hour 3 when we open up the Pirate Radio Booty Bag. Right now, we'll head out to the Fixed NC Live line, talk some golf and more with Greeny, Mark Greenhalgh from the Golf Shop Radio Show. You can hear it every Saturday, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Pirate Radio. Pirate Radio. Greeny, how you doing today?
Doing great, Clip. How about you?
Hey, doing great. And let's start here, Greeny, because Mike Mullis was just on with us. We were talking a little Wells Fargo, which we'll get to, but he brought up this Premier Golf League, and I haven't done a lot of reading about it, so I'm a little ignorant on the topic. It sounds a lot like the Super League they were proposing in soccer, and you had those Premier League teams break away. The fans went in an uproar, and the teams reversed their decisions and decided to stay as part of the Champions League, and we'll see where that goes. But this Premier Golf League at least sounds pretty similar, where they're trying to get players to break away from the traditional PGA Tour, traditional European Tour, and start their own league, and a lot of money is being put up. So, Greeny, could you give us kind of the who, what, when, where, why on this, and your thoughts on it?
Well, this is their second try to do this. They tried to do it back in early 2019, and it's a group of Saudis that are trying to basically pay these guys big bucks to have kind of a captive audience. They'll have like a 50-player league, put up millions of dollars. These guys are making money every week and no cuts, and they're trying to kind of pull the top players. And 2 years ago, it didn't have much success. You had guys like Brooks Koepka, Rory Mcilroy coming out and saying no, that they weren't going to go do something like that. Now, Greg Norman years ago was talking about a World Golf Tour, and what we got out of that was what we know now is the WGCs, or the World Golf Championship events that are on a little bit more of a global scale. So Greg Norman thought about it 30 years ago, whatever, and it never really went anywhere because the powers that be kind of put the squash on it. PGA Tour's kind of come out and made the statement that if you got guys going over to this league, that there'll be no spot for them on the PGA Tour. And they have every right to exclude people. If there's no World Golf ranking points in those types of events, if the World Golf Association, the OWGR, doesn't recognize it, then you don't get points. And if you don't get points, you don't get into major championships. So, you can't just throw a bunch of money and have these guys jump over and expect it to work. So there's a lot of things that have to be done. And I just don't see the players doing it because they got a pretty good thing going on the PGA Tour right now.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I guess for the benefit for the players that do it, maybe more money involved. But I didn't think about the con that you just mentioned there. I guess no Masters, no U.S. Open, no British Open. You miss out on those. And the Premier Golf League, if it becomes a thing, would have, I'm sure, their own premier events. But I don't know. All these golfers in the world dream about playing in Augusta or winning one of those Opens, right? And is that, you think, going to be one of the big deterrents from these big top players kind of jumping over to a new league?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody wants to win major championships, and if you don't have the opportunity to go win major championships, I mean, you can make all the money in the world, and you're only going to be so happy. I mean, yeah. I've heard, $50 million for a guy to come over. I've heard maybe Mickelson's being offered $100 million. Like I said, they tried this a couple years ago, and guys like Brooks Koepka and McIlroy came out pretty quick and said, nope, we're not even going to think about that. So I can't see it's going to get off the ground again. But, you never know. I mean, somebody, if like the old USFL, I mean, you get Herschel Walker, you get top names to suddenly go do it, and you never know what's going to happen, but I just can't see it sustaining.
NASCAR is a sport, Greeny, that changes the rules quite often, and they've gone to this chase format where they have playoffs now, and it all comes down to one final race, and the last four standing get an opportunity to win. Golf, a similar deal, a championship at the end of the year. Do you guys discuss this when you're having a cold one, maybe ways to improve the golf standings, the way a champion is decided? Or once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Do you have any ideas on how to maybe make it better, Greeny, or do you like the way it is now as far as the standings and champion and all that?
I'm fine with the whole FedEx Cup thing. The only thing I don't like is the last event, the Tour Championship, where they're staggering the start, where the number one guy starts at 10 under par, and the other guy, the last 30th guy starts at even par. I don't like that per se. I wish that they could figure out a way to, that they crown the champion as the winner. I'm always a big fan of something like a match play where, you come down on Sunday afternoon and it's two guys having a match against each other and the winner takes all. So, I know they don't want to do that because if you get the, two quote-unquote no-names in there from the top 30 battling for it, the people aren't going to watch. But, more often than not, you're going to get the cream rising to the top in those kind of events, and I'd run with it. But other than that, I think it's fine. I mean, I think NASCAR personally went to the stage racing and the playoff format because their racing really started to stink. I mean, I'm a big NASCAR fan, and their racing has gotten not so good over the last few years.
Talking to Greeny, Mark Greenhalgh from the Golf Shop Radio Show. Greeny, we got a tournament right here in the state of North Carolina, right over there in your neck of the woods in Charlotte, and scores at the Wells Fargo ranging from 6 under par, where the leaders are, to plus 14 for the guys at the back end. And unfortunately, HV3, our guy here from East Carolina, will not be around for the weekend. The projected cut is plus 1. He is sitting at plus 3 after a couple of days of play there in Charlotte. What, if anything, are you keeping an eye on for this tournament this weekend?
Well, you know what? The guys that played late yesterday and early this morning have had a pretty serious advantage because they had some pretty good conditions this morning. The wind really started kicking up this afternoon, or maybe just before lunchtime. I mean, I'm sitting at home doing some work, and all of a sudden I start hearing rumbling, and I'm like, man, what's that? That was like a thunderstorm coming? Sure enough, north side of Charlotte, there was a thunderstorm that rolled through, and ever since then, the wind's been whipping. I heard on the telecast they had a 29-mile-an-hour gust of wind. And on a course like Quail Hollow, that's already playing a little firm and fast, even despite the rain earlier in the week, this wind's really going to dry it out, and it's going to wreak havoc with these guys. And this golf course really is for me, it's a tee shot golf course. You got to get it in good shape off the tee to have an opportunity to put it in the right spot on the green, as firm as these things are, and with some of the undulation. And Phil Mickelson's the poster boy for that. Yesterday, you saw 7 under par from him, hitting 75% of the fairway, 75% of the greens, making some putts, and then all of a sudden today, hitting 25% of the fairways, less than 50% of the greens, and not making any putts. And you go from 7 under to 5 under, shoot a couple over par, and or four under, and not have a very good round. So that's what you got to do at Quail Hollow, is you really got to set yourself up off the tee. Rory Mcilroy had some success today shooting 5 under par, but if you go and look at his stats, he wasn't that accurate off the tee. So you almost say, well, that was something that he got away with, and if that, statistic off the tee continues in the last 2 rounds, he's not going to be looking at the top of the leaderboard come Sunday.
Mark Greenhalgh, Golf Shop Radio Show, joining us next week. The PGA Tour makes a stop in Texas, AT&T Byron Nelson, and then May the 20th, the PGA Championship begins. So right around the corner from that. Greeny, and we'll talk more about it next week, and obviously when you join us a couple weeks from now. But, yeah, I don't know, you got an early favorite or two for the PGA Championship. Who are you looking at right now?
Well, it's interesting. Rory McIlroy is actually the defending champion of the PGA at Kiowa. So he kind of ripped the field there. So we know he plays well there, but that was in an August time frame when they used to have the PGA there in an August time frame. going to be a little different animal in the springtime here in a May perspective. So you'll get a little cooler temperature, might have some different winds blowing. You don't have to worry as much about thunderstorms necessarily as you do in August. But yeah, I mean, you got to still look at guys coming in. I mean, John Rahm was playing real well before the Masters. Obviously had the child and kind of got derailed a little bit with his personal life, and not having a good week so far at the Wells Fargo, trying to turn it around and make the cut. But he was somebody that had been playing really well, but hasn't found it as of late. Dustin Johnson, was all world at the end of last year and really hasn't found too much of that success here in the springtime. So, man, it's getting harder and harder. Brooks Koepka's still recovering from injury. Jordan Spieth we haven't seen in several weeks, so we don't know the state of his game. So when you start looking at all the guys that, traditionally you'd start to look at, I don't see them jumping out at me. Justin Thomas struggling today on the golf course. So there's nobody, like in the top 10 in the world. I mean, Bryson DeChambeau's struggling. There's nobody jumping out at me right now. I might have to dig deep down into the standings to come up with my guys.
Maybe you'll have some long odds and a long odds winner coming up in a couple of weeks. Mark, what do you guys have planned for the show on Saturday? Golf Shop Radio Show coming up at 8 a.m. on Saturday. What you guys got cooked up?
Well, with all of the festivities going on here in Charlotte, we're going to talk to a bunch of people. We'll talk to Mac Everett, who's the chairman emeritus of the Wells Fargo. Talk to the head golf professional, Quail Hollow, Scott Davenport. We'll talk to Rex Hoggart of the Golf Channel. And, we got more golf coming around. We got the Symetra Tour is in Davidson, right outside of Charlotte next week. So we're going to talk to Tiger's niece, Cheyenne Woods, and preview the Symetra Classic coming here. And then we'll get a little preview next week of the AT&T Byron Nelson with John Drago, who's the tournament director for that tournament as well. So we got lots going on.
Good stuff. Packed show coming up Saturday, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Pirate Radio. Greeny, thanks for the chat as always. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, you too. Have a good one. Thanks.
Thank you. There is Mark Greenhalgh, Golf Shop Radio Show, joining us on the Fixed NC Live line as they're playing right now in Charlotte. They'll be at the AT&T Byron Nelson next week, and then the PGA Championship. So another major on the docket just a couple of weeks from now. ECU up 9-2 in the 8th inning in their game against Tulane. How about this? Our guys from Fear the Wave, we talked to JP Gooderham yesterday on the show. The back-to-back home runs ECU hit earlier in the game, Bryson Worrell and Seth Cadell. He says, pretty sure that's the second and third home run ever off of Olthoff in his Tulane career. How about that? So he had given up one home run in his Tulane career heading into this game, gave up two in back-to-back at-bats to ECU hitters as they were able to take care of the ace today and get into that Tulane bullpen, and now have piled up 9 runs here in game one.
So he had only one home run given up in his career, and then he blinks his eyes and then has given up 3.
3 bombs, 2 today in 1 inning for the Pirates. Who
back-to-back at-bats.
Who are we talking about? Was it maybe Corey? I can't remember who we were talking to, but the fact that Gavin Williams, it was Malcolm the other day. Not only has Gavin kind of dominated here this year in conference play and all his outings, but he is getting some major run support in these game ones, where normally the opposing team is throwing their best guy. That's not always the case in games 2 through 4, but Gavin has dominated and hasn't really needed as much help as he's received in some of these games.
Maybe the offense just feeds off of his performance.
Maybe so, yeah. Again, we talked about it. It's certainly a lack of pressure for Gavin, the pitcher, if his team's scoring a lot, but I think that the guys at the plate, there's not as much pressure on because they know they don't have to press. They don't have to force the issue.
Yep.
They know they only need to score 2 or 3 runs and they're good. So they're probably loose up there at the dish when Gavin Williams is on the mound for ECU. That has been the case today. 9-2 Pirates lead it in the 8th inning. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk more baseball, get more updates on how the Pirates fared last night in minor league baseball. We'll also get you set for what's going on this weekend and tonight in the world of sports. We'll get a Hornets update, a little more Canes update where they are in the standings, talk some baseball, and wrap up this hour number 2. Morgan Ahlers is going to join us coming up at 5 o'clock on today's show. And don't forget, Free Beer Friday, our big giveaway coming up in hour 3 as well. More to go on Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.